When I was hired to do Terminator, I really think, the day maybe the studio executives that were around then and various different people would tell it differently because they always say, I told you so type of thing. But the reality was, I think they treated it as a B movie.
The Terminator films shaped a generation with heroes, villains, and legends who became larger than life. But behind the metal, fire, and iconic lines, the real stories of the cast took very different paths. Some inspiring, some unexpected, and some heartbreaking.
Kids came up to me and said, say the line, I'll be back. And I said, I'll be back. And they said, no. The way you say it in the movie. So I said, I'll be back. Yeah, that's the way. So then we knew that we had a big line here.
In this look at the stars of Terminator 1 to 2, we revisit the faces that defined the franchise and discover how time reshaped their journeys. One name in particular hides a twist that fans rarely expect. How did these actors change, and what moments altered their lives forever? Let's dive in. Future Terminator. The future Terminator appears only briefly, yet his presence delivers a powerful glimpse into the brutal, machine-ruled world ahead. Built for destruction with no trace of humanity, this cyborg embodies pure danger. Franco Columbu's imposing physicality makes the moment unforgettable, conveying overwhelming power without a single line of dialogue. His menacing presence adds weight to the film's dystopian vision and reinforces the threat humanity faces. Born on August 7, 1941, in Sardinia, Italy, Columbu took on the role at age 43. His background as a world-class bodybuilder and close friend of Arnold Schwarzenegger made him an ideal fit for portraying a relentless robotic force. Years of disciplined training gave him the commanding strength and intimidation the character required. Beyond this cameo, Columbu achieved remarkable success across multiple fields. A two-time Mr. Olympia, he later built a thriving chiropractic practice and authored books that inspired athletes worldwide. His life reflected resilience, determination, and a drive for constant self-improvement, influencing generations of bodybuilders, performers, and fitness enthusiasts. Columbu passed away on August 30, 2019, at 78, due to complications from a drowning incident. Yet his legacy endures. His portrayal of the future Terminator remains a striking testament to his strength, discipline, and lasting impact in both sport and cinema. If you think this one was intense, wait until you meet the next key figure, who changes everything: John Connor. John Connor emerges as a pivotal figure in the fight for humanity's future. Yet in his youth, he is far from the hardened leader destiny demands. As a rebellious teenager grappling with loneliness and uncertainty, he carries a mix of vulnerability and defiance that makes him instantly relatable. His early life reflects the burden of a fate he never asked for, shaping him into someone both resistant to authority and fiercely protective of those he cares about. Through his journey, he becomes the emotional heart of the battle against the machines. Edward Furlong, born on August 2, 1977, delivered a breakout performance when he stepped into the role at only 13 years old. His natural charisma, raw emotion, and spirited energy brought authenticity to John's struggle, capturing the turmoil of a boy destined for greatness, yet unsure of his place in the world. Furlong's portrayal balanced toughness with sensitivity, shaping a character whose humanity stood in stark contrast to the cold threats pursuing him. His performance resonated deeply with audiences and set a new standard for young action heroes. After his first performance, which brought him a lot of recognition, Furlong's career opened up to a variety of memorable parts in films and independent cinemas. His roles in American History X and Detroit Rock City exhibited his dramatic versatility and his ability to represent tortured, emotion-laden characters. The tough times in his personal life were indeed the determining factors that directed his career path, but his early successes were signs of the actor who could wield both the power and the softness of the screen. He is now 48 and still doing acting. Thus, his presence in the film world is like that of a person who has gone through difficulties but is still passionate about telling stories. The role of the young John Connor is one of the roles of Furlong that will probably be remembered the most, a role that undoubtedly influenced the whole era of cinema. He not only acted, but he contributed to the legacy that would keep attracting new fans and confirming the timelessness of the franchise's primary themes. Lieutenant Ed Traxler. Lieutenant Ed Traxler stands as one of the grounded human elements in the Terminator. A weary yet steadfast LAPD officer caught in the middle of chaos he could never fully comprehend. Brought to life with remarkable restraint and authority, he embodies the voice of reason in a world collapsing into violence and uncertainty. His presence offers a brief but meaningful anchor for audiences, reminding them that even in the face of unimaginable danger, ordinary people strive to uphold their duty. The power of this character comes from the depth and quiet intensity Paul Winfield brought to the role. Born on May 22, 1939, Winfield stepped into Traxler's shoes at age 45, investing him with a mix of skepticism, compassion, and humanity that elevated the film's emotional texture. His ability to convey wisdom and world-weariness allowed the character to stand out despite limited screen time, reinforcing the realism of the story and grounding its larger-than-life conflict. Apart from this particular position, the career of Winfield was marked with great distinction in the areas of film, television, and theater. His acting in Sounder brought him an Oscar nomination, and later on, his works received Tony recognition and approval from the public in all genres. His roles in Star Trek and other drama productions demonstrated the range that made him one of the most admired artists in Hollywood. The combination of his voice, presence, and character control left an impact that was not easily forgotten by the viewers of that time and of the next generations. Winfield's death was a great loss, as he died on the 7th of March, 2004, at the age of 64, from a heart attack. However, the legacy that he created is still very much alive. It was through his dignity, strength, and superb artistry that he created characters that were both real and everlasting, thus making sure that Lieutenant Ed Traxler and Paul Winfield himself would always be remembered as the treasured part of cinematic history. Dr. Peter Silberman. Dr. Peter Silberman enters the story as the coolly analytical psychiatrist whose skepticism becomes a defining force in the unfolding narrative. With a blend of clinical detachment and subtle amusement, he serves as both observer and doubter, challenging the extraordinary claims placed before him. Earl Boen's portrayal gives the character a memorable sharpness, turning Silberman into a figure who embodies institutional disbelief in the face of impending catastrophe. Born on August 8, 1941, Boen brought a distinctive intelligence and dry wit to Silberman when he first assumed the role at age 43. His interpretation allowed the character to function as a bridge between grounded reality and the unthinkable dangers looming over the protagonists. Through his measured delivery and carefully crafted expressions, Boen shaped Silberman into an unforgettable presence, whose reactions underscored the tension driving the film's escalating conflict. Boen was, and will always be, a celebrated actor of exceptional talent, who's known for his versatility and power in film, television, and especially voice acting. His work in animation and computer games only served to designate him as a performer, with the ability to switch between the commanding and the funny genres with complete ease. He not only exhibited his marvelous talent, but also proved to be very dedicated to every project, thus being an actor who all the time resonated even more than the characters he played in the Terminator movies. Boen turned the page of his life on January 5, 2023, when he passed away at the age of 81 after enduring lung cancer, thus setting a mark of brilliance and wisdom that would never be extinguished. His repertoire of characters, such as Dr. Silberman, continues to be in a most memorable way, because it is this very precision and delicacy of performances that the audience appreciates the most, the reason why people are still very fascinated by his performances. Detective Hal Vukovich. Detective Hal Vukovich brings a gritty edge to the chaotic world surrounding the unfolding events, serving as a seasoned officer who meets danger with hardened resolve. His blunt demeanor and sharp instincts make him an essential part of the law enforcement response, grounding the story with a sense of real-world tension. Though constantly confronted with circumstances that challenge his understanding, he never wavers in his commitment to uncovering the truth. His presence adds depth to the human struggle against forces far beyond ordinary comprehension. Lance Henriksen, born on May 5, 1940, portrayed Vukovich at age 44, lending the character a rugged authenticity shaped by years of portraying intense and resilient figures. His performance combines world weariness with determination, capturing the essence of a cop who has seen more than he cares to remember, but remains steadfast in duty. Henriksen's expressive features and understated delivery helped anchor the film's escalating chaos, offering viewers someone relatable amid the extraordinary. Henriksen's career did not stop here, as, besides this memorable role, he continued to perform his iconic acts, which won him the title of cult favorite. The movie Aliens, Near Dark, and his praised impersonation of Frank Black in the TV series Millennium were all examples of his talent in depicting dark and intricate characters with his skill of bringing out even the tiniest bit of depth and humanity. Henriksen, who is now 85 years old, is still an idol, and his contributions continue to be shared with people from all over the world through different generations of fans. The actor's long-time commitment to his art has ensured that he will be remembered through a string of great performances, which, though their original release has long passed, still managed to connect with the audience. As Detective Vukovich, he made a big impact by being the one who really portrayed the struggle against all odds in one of the most human and believable ways in the whole movie. Hold on tight. What follows makes Vukovich's grit look like only the beginning. The Terminator. T-800. The Terminator, a relentless cybernetic assassin, stands as one of cinema's most chilling and iconic figures. His silent determination, mechanical precision, and unstoppable force reshape the tone of every scene he enters. The T-800 embodies the terror of a future ruled by machines, where humanity's survival hangs by a thread. His presence is defined not only by physical dominance, but by an eerie calmness that makes his pursuit feel inevitable. This character became a symbol of fear, power, and the dangerous potential of advanced technology. Arnold Schwarzenegger, born on July 30, 1947 in Austria, transformed this role into a cultural landmark. At 37, when he first portrayed the T-800, he brought unparalleled physicality and intimidating stillness to the character. Schwarzenegger's disciplined background as a champion bodybuilder, including multiple Mr. Olympia titles, gave him the stature and control needed to portray a machine disguised as a man. His minimalist delivery and commanding presence elevated the Terminator from a simple villain into a cinematic icon recognized worldwide. After the film's success, Schwarzenegger's career took off, and he changed from a bodybuilding icon to a Hollywood giant. His unique ability to mix up action, intensity, and charm attracted a huge number of leading roles in blockbuster films, thus making him one of the most influential action stars of all time. He even crossed over to the political scene, becoming the governor of California eventually. In all stages of his life, he was characterized by his ambition, hardiness, and an everlasting desire to motivate others. Today, at the age of 78 years, Schwarzenegger is still very much involved in film, charity, and advocacy. His impact on the world is still felt, and the T-800's legacy continues to be one of his major accomplishments. The character's dominating nature and memorable phrases have become part of the culture, constantly reminding the audience of the superpower that was Schwarzenegger on the big screen. Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese enters the story as a battle-hardened soldier driven by duty, loyalty, and an unshakable determination to protect the future. Sent back from a war-torn world ruled by machines, he embodies both the desperation and hope of humanity's resistance. His fierce commitment to safeguarding Sarah Connor reveals a character shaped by hardship, yet fueled by compassion. Reese's mix of vulnerability, bravery, and quiet strength creates an emotional core that grounds the unfolding conflict, making him one of the saga's most relatable heroes. Michael Biehn, born on July 31, 1956, brought remarkable heart and intensity to the role when he portrayed Reese at age 28. His performance balanced grit with emotional depth, giving audiences a hero who felt authentically human despite the extraordinary circumstances surrounding him. Biehn's natural ability to convey both determination and fragility helped define Reese as more than a soldier. He became a symbol of sacrifice and unwavering purpose. His portrayal laid the foundation for one of science fiction's most enduring character dynamics. Besides this leading role, Biehn made a big name for himself in action and sci-fi, acting in many influential pictures. His performance as Corporal Hicks in Aliens, 1986, was a point of no return in terms of his being a favorite. At the same time, the roles in The Abyss and Tombstone proved his versatility as well as his ability to portray the emotional range required. He was a source of honesty and power in the portrayal of whatever character he played, and consequently, gained a loyal fan base who appreciated the character's traits of morality and conviction. At the age of 69 now, Biehn is still a very acclaimed person in the world of genre films. His legacy lives on through the strong characters he created and the tremendous influence his acting has had on the audience. As Reese, he was one of the key figures in the making of one of the most iconic narratives in film history and, at the same time, left the character's imprint, made of bravery, humanity, and timeless storytelling. T-1000. The T-1000 remains one of science fiction's most terrifying creations, a liquid metal assassin built for flawless efficiency. Its fluid transformations, emotionless presence, and razor-sharp precision redefine what an unstoppable foe can be. Moving with eerie grace, it slips through barriers and takes on disguises with predatory ease, raising the stakes of every moment it appears in. The T-1000 embodies a future where technology evolves beyond imagination and mercy disappears entirely. Robert Patrick, born on November 5, 1958, delivered a breakthrough performance at age 32. With a lean, athletic frame and intense focus, he brought a new kind of threat to the screen, one driven by speed, intelligence, and chilling calm. His subtle expressions and precise physical control shaped the T-1000 into an unforgettable villain and one of cinema's most innovative antagonists. Patrick's career got a real boost after that, and he proved his versatility by working in both film and TV. He got recognition in The X-Files, Copland, Scorpion, and many more, where he played characters ranging from a good cop to a tricky bad guy. His contagious zeal and genuine spirit won over not just the viewers, but also the cast and crew, who respected him for them. At the age of 66, Patrick is still very much present in Hollywood and actively working on both major and minor projects. His legendary performance as the T-1000 is still shaping the traits of contemporary screen villains and is a mark of the actor's everlasting influence. Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor begins as an ordinary young woman unaware of the destiny waiting for her, only to grow into one of cinema's most powerful symbols of resilience. Her journey from a vulnerable waitress to a fierce protector of humanity stands as one of science fiction's most defining transformations. Through fear, determination, and rising courage, she becomes a force capable of facing impossible odds, grounding the saga with emotional depth and evolving strength. Linda Hamilton, born on September 26, 1956, brought unmatched authenticity to the role when she first portrayed Sarah at 28. Her balance of vulnerability and emerging toughness allowed audiences to connect with Sarah's struggles deeply. When she returned at 35, Hamilton delivered a groundbreaking reinvention, shaping Sarah into a hardened warrior ready to confront humanity's darkest threats. Her physical commitment and emotional power helped elevate the character into an enduring icon. Hamilton's career is a journey through the most discussed film and television productions, from Beauty and the Beast to a plethora of action roles that revealed her talent and charismatic presence. She turned into a pioneer with her strong female characters and eventually won the audience over by showing power without losing the emotional aspect of the character. Even at 69, Hamilton is still the embodiment of suffering and bravery. Her legacy is still able to uplift many generations, and the character of Sarah Connor is more powerful than ever, leaving a permanent impression on today's films. Don't settle in yet. The last story jumps to an entirely different level. Punk Leader. The punk leader bursts onto the screen with wild energy, instantly shaping one of the film's most unforgettable opening scenes. His chaotic look, bold attitude, and reckless confidence clash sharply with the cold threat he unknowingly confronts. Though brief, the moment leaves a lasting mark, capturing the gritty, unpredictable tone of the world the characters inhabit. His presence adds tension, humor, and a rebellious spark that fans still remember. Bill Paxton, born on May 17, 1955, brought a perfect blend of menace and charm to the role. At 29, he showcased the natural screen presence that would define his career. His expressive style and fearless delivery turned a small part into a standout moment, revealing the early spark of an actor destined for versatility and acclaim. After that, Paxton created an extraordinary career playing unforgettable characters in Aliens, Twister, Apollo 13, and Titanic. His renditions were full of heart, laughter, and emotional truth, which won over not only the public, but also his fellow actors. His commitment, openness, and singular gift all contributed to making him one of the most liked persons in the film industry. Unfortunately, Paxton died on February 25, 2017, at the age of 61 as a result of a stroke that had complications. However, his roles are still motivating, and the one of the punk leader is still very much alive as an early and still a very important part of his unforgettable legacy. The legacy of Terminator 1 to 2 lives on through the cast who shaped it. Some who reached new heights, some who faced unexpected challenges, and some who are no longer with us. Their journeys show how lasting and fragile a legacy can be. If you enjoyed revisiting their stories, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more looks into the stars behind iconic films. And when you're ready, click the next video on your screen. Thanks for watching.